So the Austin Public Safety Commission is recommending stopping the cadet training amid a probe into the police department's culture. This is a pretty controversial story that's going to be talked about a lot this week, especially at Austin City Hall. It was members of the Austin Public Safety Commission yesterday. They recommend the city council members suspend the new cadet class at the Austin Police Academy next summer until an investigation into a former assistant police chief's alleged racial remarks has concluded. Now, council members are scheduled to vote this coming Thursday to vote on the ordinance that would basically put a stop to the cadet class after the most recent class graduates early next year. Now, it would also call for a broad investigation into the police department's culture. And if the council members do adopt this recommendation ahead of their votes, it would nix the cadet class slated to start in June and bar any additional classes from beginning until September or until investigations into these allegations of racism within the department are complete. Now, the Statesman reports anonymous complaints publicized in early November accused the former Assistant Police Chief Justin Newsome of using racist language to refer to President Obama, former Councilmember Ora Houston, former Assistant Chief Frank Dixon, and other subordinates as he climbed to the ranks of the Austin Police Department. Newsome abruptly retired shortly before those complaints were actually circulated. It was revealed in an arbitration hearing for an officer named Dusterhoff, who was, trying to get his job back after being fired. Now, Councilmember Natasha Harper Madison said a police department that tolerates racism at the highest levels would likely tolerate it at all levels. So a deep dive into the department's culture is a must if the city hopes to snuff out bigotry. It sure does look like the Austin City Council is going to vote to suspend training of new police officers. Yeah, the city manager, Spencer Cronk, as you know, he launched an investigation into these complaints against Newsome and how police leaders address these issues. But the commissioners on Monday questioned whether the investigation would be truly independent and whether it would answer important questions like who knew what and when.
Right. I don't understand why you can't have both. I don't understand why you can't do this investigation, which obviously needs to be done. Sounds like there are issues that need to be addressed. What does that have to do with the next cadet class?
Now, Commissioner Rebecca Weber, she says the city's investigation essentially equates to hiring another part-time city attorney since the investigator, San Antonio-based attorney Lisa Tatum, will report to the city manager's office. Commissioner Megan Hollis equated the investigation to put a Band-Aid on a bullet wound, and saying that the city and the police leadership need to look deep into the department to identify where these problems are occurring, whether at the academy, during field training for new officers, or later in their careers, on down the road. Now, Commission Chair Ed Scruggs, he said in a statement read by Weber, he said reports indicated that the investigation could take up to 10 months, which is too long for the community to wait. It's unknown as of this morning, report Scruggs was referring to. I think what he's saying is we need more cops on the streets now.
Yeah, we do.
We're already short about 170. If we delay the academy next summer, which is what they're talking about in June,
right,
then we could be behind maybe 250 police officers on the streets.
Not a good move.
No, not at all,
no.
Especially when you got certain categories of our crime rate starting to spike. You got a homeless crisis going on. I think you have a morale problem at APD as well.
No doubt.
I mean, there's no doubt. I would feel, if I was a police officer, I wouldn't feel the happiest in my career working with this city council. Commissioner Ed Scruggs, he called for a monthly public update to the commission on the investigation's findings along any results of disciplinary action, retraining efforts, and suggested structural reforms. He goes on to say a highly transparent process promoting sustained engagement of all stakeholders is the only way to protect the viability of our critical public safety partnership. Scruggs goes on to say, it's the right thing to do, and the citizens of Austin deserve nothing less. Now, Thursday's ordinance also calls on the city leadership to conduct a deep independent investigation into the culture of the APD, including examinations of social media and every cell phone that we actually give police officers. I think we have like 1,800 police officers, maybe more.
Going deep here.
Yeah, big time. Yeah, that's coming up. Now, Harper Madison, she said the men and women we entrust with the lethal power must be held to the highest standard of professionalism and integrity, a standard that is incompatible with bigotry. I think we all can agree with that. Commissioners initially disagreed with suspending the new cadet class, with some saying the community and the police department both need more officers to protect the public. Now, Others, however, like Commissioner Chris Harris, you know about this guy? This guy is a radical. He is anti-cop big time. Big time. His name is Chris Harris. Look him up. He supported the idea, saying that pushing more officers into the academy without a thorough investigation would like putting people into a burning house. Now, Weber said a pause and reset to take stock of the department exactly is what needed to take a dramatic step. Will, imbue the entire process with a sense of urgency not seen since this all started unraveling.
I obviously don't work for APD, but you and I have talked to members of APD, and I think that description of sending him into a burning house is probably to say that it's a massive exaggeration.
Well, Chris Harris is the type of guy that thinks that anybody that puts on a police uniform is just a bigot.
Sure. Yeah, that's going to be his viewpoint.
That's his viewpoint.
Yeah, exactly. So it's all going to be tainted to him. This is bad. I mean, you've got a time when we are trying to get young people interested in being police officers at a time where, frankly, there's a big public relations crisis with police departments all over the country. This is not the time to put a halt on the police academy. Not now.
5:54. Stay with us. Traffic next.
The Todd and Don Show.